online? All right, good deal. Good evening, everyone. Welcome tonight. We're about to start the Sumner County Board of Education business meeting for 9/17/2019. Before we do, I'm going to take a moment of silence and followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to our country's flag. If you'd like to join me, please feel free to do so. Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Wise didn't even have to look at me mean tonight. I looked at the clock and so. He was looking at me, wasn't he? Sure was. All right, first item on the agenda tonight's roll call. Mr. Johnson, do you have the roll?
Yes, sir. I'll move Mr. President to say Mr. Blunt.
All righty. Mr. Duncan's missing. How about that? Next item on the agenda is adoption of regular agenda. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Mr. Daniels, second by who? Mr. Wise. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Seeing none, we have an agenda. Next item on the agenda is election of board officers, election of a Board of Education chairperson for the 2019-20 term.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Tim Brewer.
Well, Mr. Tim Brewer has been nominated.
I'll make a motion nomination cease, elected by acclamation.
Motion's been made that nomination cease and be elected by acclamation. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Hayes. Any discussion? Seeing none, it appears that I have been drafted again. Next item on the agenda is election of Board of Education Vice Chairman. Is there any nominations? Ms. Bachman?
Second.
Ms. Bachman has been nominated. Is there a motion to cease nominations on that?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Wilkerson. Second by Ms. Hayes. Any discussion? Seeing none, Ms. Bachman has been drafted as well. So. Well, I appreciate that. I consider it an honor to serve you folks, and I'll do my best. And Mr. Wise keeps me in line. He keeps those eagle eyes on me over there, so we'll be good.
I echo that for myself. Thank you very much. Appreciate your support.
Mr. Chairman, that's me, isn't it? Mr. Hawkins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and greetings to all board members and staff at headquarters. Mr. Johnson, on that last two sets of motions, could the record show that they were both unanimous by all board members present and participating?
Yes, sir.
That's it. Thanks. I'm going back on mute.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hawkins. Next item on the agenda is adoption of consent agenda. Is there a motion? So moved by Ms. Bachman, second by Mr. Wise. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed? Seeing none, that takes care of the consent agenda. Next item is consideration of minutes, discussion and interaction of minutes of the August 20th regular meeting. Is there a motion? Motion by Mr. Wise, I think. Mr. Daniels, second by Mr. Wise. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is recognition and hearing of delegations. Recognition of our buddy, Mr. Dave Mooney from Hendersonville. Come on up, Mr. Mooney. Good to see you.
Good evening. I enjoy your new podium over here. I won't trip over it, I guess, at this point. So, well, good evening, Chairman Brewer, Director Phillips, and all the members of the school board. I'm Dave Mooney. I'm the Senior Vice Commander of VFW Post 9851 in Hendersonville. And I want to thank this opportunity to discuss with you some of the programs that our post and the VFW nationally runs for students and teachers, particularly here for Sumner County tonight. And first, if Jim is still listening, I want to wish him a speedy and complete recovery. I miss him. Tonight, I'll talk primarily about the efforts of VFW Post 9851, which is where I belong, and the efforts that we do in Hendersonville area. But these programs are also available from our Post 9806 in the Westmoreland, Portland, Gallatin area, and Post 2120 in the White House Cross Plains area. So they also run the similar programs and feed into our district and state levels. The first program is our Patriots Pen, and I've placed on each of your chairs a detailed brochure, much more detail than what I'll talk about tonight. But the Patriots Pen is for middle school students. The students are asked to write a 300 or 400 word essay expressing their views on an annual patriotic theme, which is selected by the national commander of the VFW. And this year's theme is What Makes America Great. Students then submit their essays to their local VFW post. The post then will judge all of those and choose a winner from each of the posts. And then it'll be passed on to VFW District 4, which is part of the state Tennessee VFW organization. There's 11 different districts in the state. And the District 4 winner will be passed on to the state chairman of the Patriots Pen to be judged. Along the way, each of the students generally receives a monetary award, anywhere from $100 to $1,000, depending on how rich the post is, etc. And the national VFW winner chosen will win a $5,000 scholarship. And those that are a little bit lower, you get a little bit reduced money, but a lot of people get some nice money for this situation. The next program is our Voice of Democracy program. This is for high school students grades 9 through 12. And again, they're asked to write an essay, but they're also then to record an audio of this essay. And we listen to and grade the audio portion of their essay. This year's theme is also What Makes America Great, and again, chosen by the national deal. The national winner will win a $30,000 scholarship. Second place gets $20,000. On down to the 54th place gets $1,000. So everybody goes, if you win at your state level, you go for a 3 or 4 day trip, expenses paid, to Washington, D.C., where they have take the students around to show them various historical Washington, D.C. typical sites, and then have a big program where they award the scholarships, and everybody goes home with at least $1,000 and a good time when they leave. A couple of years ago, I guess 5 years ago, we had the Tennessee State winner came from Beach High School, or I'm sorry, Station Camp High School, and she received over $3,000 in scholarships along the way. Our third event that we do is the recognition of the Teacher of the Year. And this is, again, a contest for elementary, middle, and high schools. We award winners in each of the 3 grade levels. And if it weren't for the great teachers we have, we wouldn't have great entries from the students each year. Each school has been requested to nominate a teacher. And nominations can be filed by the principal, fellow teachers, or any other citizen that thinks that that teacher is doing a good job in educating our students. Again, these are all judged at the post, district, and state levels and submitted to the national contest. The national contest winners get a award both for themselves and for their school. In 2017, 2018, the National Elementary of the Teacher was from Collin, Tennessee, down south of here someplace, I guess. I'm a fairly new Tennessee person, so I'm not an expert on Tennessee geography, even though I was a geography major in college. But I have mailed entry forms, which include the things that I've handed out to you tonight, to the principals and guidance counselors for the high school things, and the principals for the Patriots Pen and the Teacher of the Year thing. So they're probably tired of opening letters from the VFW post at this point, because some of them got 2 or 3 of them, like Mr. Frank at Merrill Hyde, okay? And the deadline for submitting these entries is Halloween, October the 31st. So might be helpful if they put a candy bar in their entry, but I don't know. The final event that I want to talk about tonight is the Young American Creative Patriotic Art Contest, which is conducted by our auxiliary, which is a group of spouses and other relatives of veterans that our post is fortunate to have. And Alice is a member of our auxiliary over there and a very strong member of that, by the way. And again, these are judged by the posts of the district and the state and go to the national. And the national winner several years ago, the national winner this year will win a $15,000 scholarship. And several years ago, we had a student from Beach High School that was the national art contest winner. So we have some pretty talented students in our school system. We just need to encourage them to keep writing and drawing and enter that tonight. My one request tonight is that you as members of the board check with your individual schools to make sure that your principals and teachers are encouraging these programs to be done. I've sent them to the guidance counselor because I know that's where students go when they want scholarship information. I've attached my card to the packet that I left on each one, so if anybody has any questions regarding this contest or any other questions about the VFW, I'd be happy to answer them. Again, thank you for the opportunity to talk about these important VFW youth and community programs with you tonight. I would be pleased to answer any questions you have at this time.
Anybody got any questions? Dr. Phillips?
I just want to thank Mr. Mooney for his work with the VFW and across our school system. I know you're well known from going out and doing all of these programs with our principals and counselors and teachers and students. And we'll make sure that like we always do, we'll send something out and reinforce to make sure that they know this information's there and we get it out and get some entries.
Thank you very much,
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Phillips. Thank you.
Any other comment? Ms. Bachman?
Dave, thank you very much for coming and bringing all the brochures and everything. We're very proud of all of our students, and we just would like for them to be recognized for what they do. So thank you again.
All righty. Next item on the agenda is further, I lost my place here, recognition of delegate. And so, yeah, Ms. Hayes, take it away, please. I just washed my mouth out and can't do a thing with it. So.
And Mr. Mooney, do the private schools get this information and you meet with their guidance counselors?
Yes, the guidance counselors at the high school's got the information on the Boy Scouts.
Because this young man could probably write and win the and win the award. Yes, you could. Good evening, everyone. Tonight I have the honor and privilege of recognizing Samuel Griffin Johnson. Griffin, this young man is a member of Boy Scout Troop 75 in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and the Middle Tennessee Council, and has received his Eagle Scout rank on July the 22nd, 2019. As a Boy Scout, Griffin has earned 40 merit badges. Now, any of you all who have been in scouting, that is 9 more than is required. So that already tells you a lot about Griffin. He's going to go above and beyond. Served in multiple leadership roles and completed a community service project. And his service project consisted of 331.8 hours of community service, building 10 buddy benches. He built those for the playgrounds at 6 of our local schools in Sumner County: Indian Lake Elementary, Jack Anderson Elementary, Burris Elementary, Station Camp Elementary, Merrill Hyde Magnet, and Nanny Berry. He made an instructional video, which can be viewed, and he's got the website here, and he developed a curriculum for the principals and the teachers to use in the classrooms where the students pledged to be a buddy bench friend. Griffin, we need you to build these at all of our city halls and throughout Sumner County. We need more buddy benches, don't we, y'all?
It'd be a ton of work.
Griffin has Asperger's, high-functioning autism, and narcolepsy. So he had a strong desire for his Eagle project to impact those children like him who have a harder time making friends. Griffin will be a senior at Pope John II High School in Hendersonville, Tennessee this fall, where he is right now. And he plans to attend Western University, Western Kentucky. You're looking at Western. Don't have to make a decision today about it.
Yeah.
That's the plan. And Griffin wants to study animal biology and hopes to work for the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency as a biologist monitoring wildlife and protecting their habitats. We are so proud of you. Before I give you the certificate, would you like to share anything with the Sumner County School Board? I'll let you.
It's an honor to be here in front of you all tonight. I was really nervous getting up here, but I'm just so happy I can be recognized by such an outstanding school board. So thank you.
So Griffin, presented to Samuel Griffin Johnson this Tuesday, September the 17th of 2019, in recognition of your Buddy Bench Eagle Scout project. As part of the project, Buddy Benches that you constructed at Burris Elementary, Indian Lake Elementary, Jack Anderson Elementary, Merrill Hyde Magnet, Nanny Berry, and Station Camp. Thank you for all your efforts to promote kindness in our schools and for representing Sumner County with class and with pride. We wish you well in your pursuit of greatness for our community, your family, and yourself. And your family, tonight we have little brother Aiden, we've got Chip, Daddy, and Mother, and we have Miss Dillon, Indian Lake Elementary school teacher, and Ryan, his buddy, who's going to be next in line for his Eagle, all cheering them on. But we're so proud of you. What an honorable young man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Brewer, before he gets out, may I ask him a question, please?
Mr. Wise is going to ask a question.
Mr. Wise would like to ask a question before everybody kind of gets settled down
Actually,
there.
I need to make two statements if I could. You keep winning all those awards and things, you're gonna have to grow into a bigger shirt to carry all those things. And the second thing is, I'd like to go ahead and place an order for a buddy bench at H.B. Williams Elementary School.
Yes, sir. Fantastic. Thank you all very much. We get him a big long list of orders, couldn't we? That's fantastic. That's one of the great things about being able to sit here. Thank you, Ms. Hayes, for recognizing him. Next item on the agenda is there's no matters involving council. Praise the Lord for that. And next item is reports from the director, Dr. Phillips.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. JJ's going to bring around, if you'll just take one of those, Mr. Wilkerson, and pass it around. And then I think enough, Ms. Andrews, it stops with you on this side. Try to send them two different ways. I think okay. So each year, you guys know that we take enrollment in 20-day segments, and each year we share with you guys the enrollment count across the system, and you kind of get a longitudinal picture there of how we've done each year when we look at the first 20-day report compared to the previous year. So if you look, just a couple of things. Obviously, the column to the right is this year, 1920, and I think most of you will remember that I said I felt like this year, based on just housing permits, available inventory, things that were happening out in the community, that I felt like this would be one of the heavier years in regard to growth from first month to first month. And if you look at that, what you'll see is that's panned out to be accurate. This year, between first month 20-day report last year and this year, we're up 734 students. I can tell you, if you look across that and you add all these up later this evening and you kind of take each column and see how much different they are from the previous year, we've had, on average, I think it's around 380 if you add them all up per year. But if you look, there's a couple of years where we actually had high growth years like this year. If you go all the way back to 2001, 2002, 3, all the way back to the left-hand side. So that would have basically been the difference between the first 20-day report in 2001 and the first 20-day report in 2002 would have been 790 students. You had a year there in 2005, so that would have been August of 05 compared to August of 06, would have been 832. So those are the only 2 years that we've had in the last 20 where we had growth like we did this year. So that kind of gives you a good idea of how to compare that sheet. If you look across more specifically this year, and considering kind of what we wanted to do with our numbers, if you look at Little Beach there, we thought that number would be right on top of 600. It's 592, which we're real close there. If you look down in the high school world, and I talked to you guys about how I wanted to kind of start getting balanced up with Beach, Hendersonville, Station Camp, and ultimately Gallatin once we pull out to go to the new school complex. You'll see that Beach has floated to 1541. And you can see where we've made that zoning change several years ago. It's what it started driving that increase there. And you also see where we've reduced the population of Station Camp over that time from 1767 to 1334. Now you also have to realize that's the highest growth curve in the high school feeder pattern there at Station Camp. So we think that's where the majority of the pressure will be in future years. But zoning 4 years ago has kind of accomplished what we wanted to. If you look at Hendersonville, they're 1554. So we're kind of getting things like we want them as far as the zoning changes have made the outcome that we wanted. If you look, the other one was Station Camp Elementary. And if you look at that, where we pulled it last year, and then we took students out, I felt like that we would be somewhere around 925 or so this year, and we're at 949, 950. So Station Camp Elementary obviously continues to grow, probably at a higher curve than anywhere else on this sheet. Station Camp Middle, we were a little bit heavier than what I thought, but not much on the middle school end. So just kind of give you an idea of where we're at and the growth curve that happened this year. So, I thought it was important to mention those things because that's the first things that I look at when I looked on this page to see, did the zoning things have the impact we wanted to? Were we correct that we needed to do things because Station Camp Elementary and Middle is where our biggest growth curve is going to happen? And all those things are yes.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Wise.
I'm going to make this statement kind of in a question form, or at least for Dr. Phillips' confirmation. The White House Middle School numbers do include 5th grade, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, because they are in the building.
Yes,
okay.
sir, they do.
So that's just kind of a reminder for the board that White House Middle School includes 5th grade, whereas none of the other middle schools include the 5th grade.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Any other question or comment? Oh, Ms. Andrews.
Sorry, thank you. I just want to say thank you for providing these. I was hoping that we would get these at this meeting. I've kind of been anxiously waiting to see what these numbers were going to be. And I want to just also point out that I know, as we went through the zoning and stuff, a question kept coming up of why can't we send these kids to Burris? And I think if you look at those numbers on there, granted, there were some kids, some small groups that we were moving over there, but I think that was around, 30 or 40 kids. They grew by 100 students this year, which is something personally, just knowing the area and knowing the subdivisions going in there, completely, I continue to say we can't, because they're going to get the growth. It said, when Durham Farms puts their pool in,
Yep.
we're going to see those kids start coming to Burris, and they put the pool in last year.
Exactly. And
So
we kind of got into that where second and third year, if you look across there, Miss Andrews is exactly correct. When you look across 476, 489, 491, especially that third year in 17, 18, we thought, gosh, we're going to see this influx because we know it's happening, and we didn't. But then as soon as the clubhouse was built and they moved from the smaller retirement homes there, zero lot, to the bigger homes, which is what's being built now. When that phase started, then you see that uptick. So I think you're exactly right.
So
And
I feel
think
like
it
this
happened.
confirms that, as however you want to phrase it, whether it was not necessarily what any of us wanted to do and so forth, that it was still the best decision because of the growth that is happening in that area, and that you kind of go back and look at Beach's numbers, and you can see where they've kind of been stagnant over the years, and there's really not any planned larger developments going
Right.
in that. And so I just want to say thank you for diligently looking at that and understanding all of that to make the best decision for our students.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Sometimes you do these things and it's hard to see until you see it. And so things like, hey, how are the subdivisions being developed? What impact will that have in year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? And some of it is a little bit of a guessing game, but especially when you look at Station Camp and you think, well, we had 1,050 students there, 1,048. We took out 150. They consistently grow about 50 a year. If you guys remember me saying that, they grow about 50 a year, and we're going to be dead on top of 50. And of course, they'll pick up some throughout the year because last year, I think they picked up a few as the year count went along. So, long story short, I think we made some good decisions. I think the student population where we wanted to manage it with zoning, I think that had the desired outcome as far as the numbers and where people are. Looking forward to, I think next year we may see the same thing. We've had 2 years out of that 20. If you go back and add all those numbers up and look at them like I did as closely, you'll see where the years I mentioned, there was only 1 year where you had 2 that were really high back to back. But I think we're going to be close to that again this coming year. It's too early to kind of know for sure, but I feel like it will be. 05, 06, 06, 07, no. It was 04, 05, 05, 06, 06, 07. That run right there had the 2 back-to-back August to August that were heavier than anywhere else. So third highest growth year, August to August, in the last 20 is this year. So just want y'all to have that information and that data. Be glad to answer any questions. If you guys stare at it and want to ask me something more specific, I can probably tell you. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. Any other question or comment on that? All right, moving right along. Next item on the agenda is new business, discussion and interaction regarding a revision to policy GAB, job descriptions, specifications. Is there a motion? Motion approved by Mr. Wise, second by Mr. Daniels. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Next item on the agenda, unfinished business, discussion and interaction regarding amendments to the general purpose budget. Motion approved by Mr. Wise, second by Mr. Gregory. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Next item on the agenda, discussion and interaction regarding amendments to the federal budget. Motion approved by Mr. Daniels, second by Mr. Wise. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is discussion of study session items. Mr. Johnson.
October study session is going to be
Yes.
So we'll probably keep it clear so I can show you guys some renderings of the new school campus, layout, some graphic, I'm sorry. Probably have a lot of time on the new school campus, the layout, the graphic, you know, some renderings, those kind of things. You can kind of see what it's going to look like, what it's proposed to look like, those types of things. So probably will meet in the gym just because it'll be easier if that's okay. Up here. Is that good?
If we meet in the gym, will we be able to video that?
Yeah, probably can get Kelly. Yeah, probably get Kelly to do it. Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
I think that would be.
JJ, just try to make that happen with Kelly. It's a good idea. Yeah, and I think we'll see about maybe having some food before. Six o'clock, regular time, 6 o'clock. I'll have JJ send something out to you guys, okay? Just with all the details. Is that good?
Yeah,
We'll get Floyd lined up.
especially that food part. That sounded real good.
That was.
There you go. Mr. Floyd can do it.
And that is October
October 1st, study session.
Uh-oh. Oh, my goodness.
We'll probably try to do like we always do for budget. We'll probably try to do like we always do for budget. So JJ will send out something for you guys, a reminder. But maybe if you come through and eat about 5:15 or so, we'll have it ready, and then we'll have the meeting at 6. Is that okay?
All right, next item on the agenda is comments from board members. Ms. Hayes, would you like to start this evening? No comment tonight. My goodness. Well, all righty. Ms. Bachman, how about you?
I'm sorry I missed the luncheon last time. I wasn't sure about it, but thank you for giving me the schedule, and I will make sure and do that as well. So, and I think the fall carnivals are starting to be planned now, so I guess next month that'll be a busy thing for all of us, with those with some elementary students. So we always like to go there. So thank you, and thank you again for your confidence in it as the vice chair.
Thank you, Ms. Bachman. Ms. Andrews.
Yes, just a reminder that we are meeting next week, and it's going to be at HHS, and that day is, instead of meeting at 11, it's 11:45. That time works better with Mr. Cotter's schedule, so normally we meet at 11, but it's going to be 11:45 next Tuesday at HHS. So I'm excited to go there. I may, Miss Hayes, I might be wearing my orange and blue, and we might be saying "Go Bucks." Unfortunately, I missed the game, so my husband and I took a weekend trip to the beach for the first time since our honeymoon. So we were watching a movie, and I was getting football updates. And I hate that I missed the game because I heard it was incredible, but I was looking forward to our meeting tonight. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Andrews. Mr. Daniels. Mr. Wise.
I'm good, thank you.
Ms. Brown.
I hate to say it, you know how badly I am, how terrible I am at getting something printed. But I need everything in print now because my computer was saved. So I now have a working computer. I've been, in bozo land with no computer. But it's on its last leg, so I've got to purchase one. So I need, like, the schedule of the dinners or whatever. I need a hard copy because I don't know what's going to happen to what's in that computer if it goes out. He said it could go out the next 2 days or it may be 2 months, but we don't know. So I am, but I've got to, decide what to buy too. So that's my issue. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Oh,
There they are.
There it is.
Are you selling them?
You done, Ms. Brown?
Yes,
Okay,
I'm sorry.
thank you, Ms. Brown. Mr. Gregory?
Thank you, Mr. Brewer. Congratulations to Mr. Brewer and Ms. Balkman. Been two very good leaders, very good. We've talked quite a bit about athletics in the last year, probably too much, but I will mention this one. Always get a real big thrill out of mentioning Corey Brewer's name. I saw him a few days ago. Oh, been 6 weeks ago probably. He did a camp in Portland, and he came up to me and looked down at me. And what I mean by that, he's 6'9", and said, "There's my man." I thought, Lordy mercy, loan me some money. But anyway, he's had 11 years in the NBA. He's presently unemployed, I think, hoping to get a 12th year contract. I think that was his goal, hoping to play 12 years. And met his wife and his mother, and actually his guard. And, but anyway, it was very good to see him. Dr. Phillips met him at least once. Clyde Riggs, rewards go, a very good day. What was that, 2 weeks ago? I believe it was. And had helicopters and free ice cream. Really good. And did you say that was next Tuesday? I have my card on my mantle. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gregory. Mr. Wilkerson?
Can't believe a whole year's went by. No, I'm good tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wilkerson. And on the phone, Mr. Hawkins. Mr. Hawkins? We lost him.
It just went up. It just went dead when you said, when you. Go ahead.
All right. Well, we lost Mr. Hawkins. Sorry to. I mean, lost him on the phone. We still know where he's at. But, I mean, he's still there. Lost the connection. Sure did. Well, all right. I'll go ahead and finish up, and we'll get out of here. I appreciate the confidence in me to be your chairman again, and I'll do my best to do a very good job. And if I'm not, let me know, and we'll try to do better. So, with that being said, we are adjourned.